From the Boulevard Room of the Jefferson Arms, it's time for the Playhouse Party. And now here's your host, St. Louis's musical master of ceremonies, Russ David.
Oh, yeah. Hello, hello, hello. What a wonderful word. What a wonderful word. What a wonderful word. Hello. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the beautiful Jefferson Arms. We have about 200 people here, and we're very happy to have you. Our next program emanating from here will be August the 20th, so be sure you call 436-4600 and ask for any of the pretty ladies that answer the phone. We'd love to have you. And I'd like to introduce my guests, first of all. One of my guests, as you probably know, the PGA starts next week. And it's at Bellerive Country Club, and we're very honored to have the PGA, which is a Professional Golfers Association Championship. And one of the men, and he'll be on the program later, he's one of the many, many members of the media committee, and of course he's employed by Southwestern Bell, and they've kind of lease-lended him to the PGA. And we'll be talking to him. His name is Brad Parrod. How about a nice hand for Brad? Another guest of mine will be Dennis Scherrer. He was here a couple of weeks ago. He's a wonderful banjo player. Besides that, he's a very, very likable guy. And a man that I've been working for and from and with for 38 to 88 is 54 years. Artie Schieler. Now, Artie, if you'll come up here and do this little vamp that I gave you on Deary. How about a nice hand for Artie?
Deary, do you remember when we waltzed to the Sousa band? My, wasn't the music grand?
Chowder parties down by the seashore every 4th of July.
Test your memory, my dearie. Do you recall when Henry Ford couldn't even fix a running board under a Chandler 6? Dearie, life was cheery in the good old days gone by. Do you remember? If you remember, well, dearie, you're much older than I.
Now, we were talking about some of the old cars that we had, and Dottye, tell us about one of the old automobiles you had.
Oh, well, I had a Nash. Oh, Lord. And this particular car had gears that had little rings, and the gear had to fit into these little rings, and every once in a while it would slip out of the rings. And at the time I was working with Russ, singing with a band, and I was in my Farmel going down Chippewa Street, and the gears slipped out. And so I had to get out of my car, and I had to open the hood of the car in my Farmel and put those gears back in place. Needless to say, we changed cars at that particular point.
Well, we all have a story about cars. Now, here's our second verse. Deary,
do you remember when we stayed up all night to get Pittsburgh on a crystal set?
Keystone movies, Coogan and Chaplin made you laugh and then cry.
Test your memory, my dearie. Do you recall when Orville Wright flew at Kitty Hawk?
Well, take it from me, I would rather walk. Deary, life was cheery in the good old days gone by. You remember, if you remember, well, dearie, you're much older than I. When I was about 8 years old, my father used to borrow my grandfather's automobile. He had a Chalmers. It's a name that's been gone for many, many years. I remember out in front of our house on a place called Clifton Place, it was in the dead of winter at night, and my dad went out to light the carbide lights. In those days, they had carbide lights, and you'd light them with a match and fire them up, and then, well, He hadn't lost his match yet. I'm going to watch you, Schieler. And he's out there. He forgets that he has lighted the lamps. Now he's got to crank the car. He puts his hand on one of these brass lamps, and he starts to crank. Well, he can't get his hand off the lamp because he burned. Oh, what a terrible sight that was. But those were the old cars. You remember these people?
Dearie, do you remember when most gents owned a pair of spats?
Wing collars and derby hats.
A lovely lady swinging their bustles made those gentlemen cry.
Takes your memory,
my dearie.
Remember watching John L. win every fight, 'cause nobody ducked from Sullivan's right. Dearie,
A life was cheery in the good old days gone by. Do you remember? If you remember, oh well, dearie, you're a much older than I.
you know, we got one more verse. When I was 19 years old, I joined the Musicians Union, and I got a job working in a speakeasy called The Stable. The Stable was just off of Grand on Teresa or one of those streets. I called my father at 2 o'clock in the morning. Said, Pop, I lost my keys in the snow. My dad came down at 2 o'clock in the morning. We're crawling around in the snow. We found the keys, and he said, boy, what a dumb cup you are. Dearie, do you
remember when the Met let Caruso sing?
My, didn't the rafters ring? Diamond Jim was there in the horseshoe, catching everyone's eye.
Test your memory, my dearie.
Do you recall when Gilda Gray did the shimmy shake? And that was the start of the Frisco Quake.
Dearie, life was cheery in the good old days.
Everybody, do you remember? If you remember, well, dearie, you're much closer. And one more time, oh, dearie, you're much older than I. Dottye said we shouldn't have done the last two verses because nobody will know what we're talking about. Well, some of you people remember John L. Sullivan, or you read about him, right? And the Frisco Quake, you read about that. Enrico Caruso, you remember that? And what was he famous for? Yeah, and what was this big song they used to run over and over, Pagliacci? Okay, now, Dottie's going to sing a version of Pagliacci called Sweet Georgia Brown.
No gal maid has got a shade on that of a lovin' sweet Georgia Brown. She got two left feet, but oh so neat has a sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh and want to die for a sweet Georgia Brown. I will tell you just why.
Well, I'm telling you why.
Oh, you know I don't lie, not much. It's been said she knocks 'em dead when she lands in town. She's got a cool round frame, and it's a shame how she cools them down. They're all fellas she can't get. They are fellas she ain't met. Georgia claimed her, Georgia named her Sweet Georgia Brown.
Why? You know I don't lie.
There are fellas she can't get. They are fellas she ain't met. Georgia claimed her, Georgia named her Sweet Georgia Brown.
Well, now Georgia named him, Georgia claimed him. Sweet
Georgia Brown.
Dottie, if you'll introduce our grand lady. That's the oldest lady of our audience. And I believe today she is 93.
Yes, she is. As a matter of fact, her name is Ellen Welch, and she was born January the 3rd, 1899 in Ireland. Ellen Welch. And she came to the United States in 1926. And Russ, if you keep playing that pretty song, I'm going to go over and get her, okay?
It's a long walk from Ireland. You know, I guess it really is taking too much for granted to expect a gal 93 to walk up here. But let's have a big hand for her in case she makes it. Here she's coming.
You something, Russ. This lady looks like she's about my age. She's beautiful. She really is. Yeah.
Born in Ireland. Have you been back? Have you ever been back?
About 3 times.
3 times?
Yes.
I was only there once with Mike Rorty about 2 years ago. And the first time I flew in over Dublin, boy, I'll tell you, I never saw so many beautiful shades of green. It is really lovely. It's indescribable. It really is indescribable. Well, your birthday was January the 3rd, right?
Yes, sir.
93. And where were you born in Ireland?
In south of Ireland.
South of Ireland.
And wait a minute. In County Clare.
County Clare. Okay. County Clare, County Cork, all the counties. Mm-hmm. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And are you feeling good?
I'm feeling great.
That's nice. That's nice. Mr. Smurfy had a party just about a week ago. Everything was wonderful. The Murphys are not slow. They treated us like gentlemen. Well, it was a dirty shame. When Murphy dished the chowder out, she fainted on the spot. She found her overalls on the bottom of the pot. Tim Murphy, he got raving mad. He climbed upon the piano, and he'd loudly shout, try it in A flat. Surprise, try it in A flat. That's right. Who threw the overalls in Mr. Smurfy's chowder? Nobody spoke, so they shouted all the louder. It's an Irish trick that's true, and I can lick them, make it through. The overalls in Mr. Smurfy's chowder. One more time, everybody. Who threw the overalls in Mr. Smurfy's chowder? Nobody spoke, so he howled all the louder. It's an Irish trick that's true, and I can lick them, make it through. The overalls in Mr. Smurfy's chowder. The overalls in Mr. Smurfy's chowder. This lady was born in 1899, and she came over here in 1926. So is that about 26 or 27 years? That's how old you were when you came to the United States?
Yes.
Where did you come to originally? Did you come to St. Louis or now some other town?
Well, I come to New York. I had relatives there. And then I would stay a week or 2 there and came to St. Louis in June of 1926.
I know. I sometimes forget almost where I live. Well, you know, there's only one room in anybody's house that everybody knows what they're doing. They know exactly why they're there. Yeah, that's the one I got locked in, yeah. 3 children, would you name them? Is that too much?
No, Mary, Eleanor, and Teresa.
Eleanor, Teresa, and what's the other one?
Mary.
Mary. Oh, everybody has to be a Mary. Yeah. Dottie's going to sing Mary. After all, George M. Cohen's show is being produced here this week, and Joel Gray is singing the lead. And Dottie's going to sing all those Irish songs. Yeah, and she's also going to do an Irish jig. Wait till you see that. We have a lovely orchid for Ellen Welch, who is 93 years young. And thank you for coming up to see us. And you know something? I hope when I'm 93, I can sit down beside you. Oh, nice hand for Ellen Welch. Okay, here's our guest, Mr. Artie Schieler. All right? How about a nice hand for my friend Artie Schieler? Artie, pick up that microphone at the moment.
Gotcha.
We were together since 1938.
This time, yeah.
Yes, the stories we could tell about, well, I guess we started working for the Bushes about at that time,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, it must be 38, 39, and there's some great orchestra leaders came in for big debut parties and so forth.
Well, how about the bands that worked in this beautiful Jefferson Arms here?
Right. There was one called Dusty Rhodes. I don't know how he got that name.
Yeah.
But then there was another one, Aronson.
Irving Aronson.
Irving Aronson. And let me see. Who? Tony DePardo.
Yeah.
My golly, who is now in Kansas City.
Bobby Meeker.
Bobby Meeker, right. And they had, who? Nick Carter. Oh, golly.
Nick Carter was a maitre d', wasn't he? Incidentally, you know who I'm going to have here on the 20th? Hack. Hack is going to be here
I hope he brings a tenderloin with him.
from the Tenderloin room. Oh boy, what a sweetheart he is.
I'll tell you.
Well, anyhow, then we did all kinds of shows. We did the network shows, and in those days, Artie was playing drums
Right.
most of the time, right?
They got too heavy. I decided to go to piano.
And anyhow, there was Joe Scherrer and Artie and I and Billy Blair, and we started about the same time. As a matter of fact, Billy Blair came off the road with Ted Weems
Right.
and came to the studio. And when we did the Tune Shop on television, right?
Right.
And we did, all the studio shows, because Russ, he was the staff percussionist and drummer, and I was the staff conductor for a long, long time. Anyhow, Artie, come on over here. Artie is basically an unusual, fantastic vibraphone player, and that's in addition to the drum. But of course, as you can see, when he started to play the piano, I asked him to come over here and accompany me. And but he does something that's unusual. He plays the piano when I play the bottom and he plays the top. He plays it like he would play a marimba or a xylophone or a vibraphone, like when you got two mallets. Okay. Now you listen. We're going to play.
That's because I use the index finger on each hand, and the other fingers get in the way when I.
You only use two fingers, one on each hand, Art?
If I can help it.
All right, listen to this. This is something unusual. You'll never hear this again. How about that? One more time. As you remember, towards the latter years of Joe Shermer's life, he did a lot of appearances on the Arthur Godfrey Show. And Artie did a song all the time called Florida Sand in My Shoes. And we would beg him when he go to New York, now get Arthur Godfrey. After all, they had the street named in Miami, Florida for Godfrey, right? The main thoroughfare down there. And so finally one day he came back and he says, well, we at least got a key for him. He's going to do it in B flat. That was the end of it.
Yeah.
He never got to it.
Arthur gave it to his arranger.
Yeah.
And said he could do it in B flat. And that's the last we heard.
I want you to do this song. This is probably one of the nicest songs that Florida hasn't heard.
I've got some Florida sand in my shoes. I'm here to tell you that I've got the blues. 'Cause I'd like to scamper on down to Tampa, get some more of that sand in my shoes. There isn't anything I wouldn't give if I could settle down there and just live. 'Cause it would be dandy to see Miami, get some more of that sand in my shoes. I won't need a great big mansion, 'cause I could live in a rickety, rackety shack. And with a beautiful girl for my wife, I'd live the snappiest, the happiest life. I'd take that lassie to Tallahassee, get some more of that sand in my shoes. Like I said, I could live in a mansion, it wouldn't hurt. But I could live in a rickety, rackety shack. And with the beautiful girl for my wife, I'd live the snappiest, happiest life. And what I mean, I'd live like a king if I had more of that Florida sand in my shoes. Not with weather like this, boy. We take it right here in St. Louis. Thank you.
Now, I know that Mickey is going to be listening Sunday when this show is played back. And so Mickey, he doesn't know he's going to do it, but he is going to do it. This is for his wife, Mickey.
Mickey, pretty Mickey, with your hair of frosted hue. Never know your smiling eyes beguiling. There's a bit of Killarney, bit of the Blarney too. Hey, childhood in the wildwood, like a mountain flower you grew. Pretty Mickey, can you blame anyone for falling in love with you? Can you blame anyone for falling in love with you?
Artie Schieler. Thank you, Artie. And now I'd like to introduce, how much time do we have now? We've got 6 minutes. I'd like to introduce our guest who is a member of the PGA Media Committee, and he's got some interesting things to tell us. A nice hand for Mr. Brad Parrod. Now, I have no idea how many people are working on this project. Brad, how many of the folks are out there just to take care of the media, the telephone calls, of all the things you must do?
We have about 2,500 volunteers, and they'll all be dressed just like this.
I see. Well, that's the costume.
That's the costume.
Belle Reve, and they got the colors, and there's two or three arches on your T-shirt there, and everybody, well, I guess they'll be known by the costume they wear.
My daughter thought I'd gone to work at McDonald's.
Yeah. First of all, this is a major golf tournament. So you folks that are not interested in golf, I must tell you that I am a golf nut. Okay? And I play golf all the time, and I play golf all the time because it's one of the golfs you can play till the day you drop. and it's just wonderful. As long as you can walk around and see, it's just fine. Now, I don't think that many people have any idea the crowds a professional golf tournament, especially a major. And a major, I mean, well, what are the four majors, Brad?
The four majors, the Grand Slam events, are the British Open, the U.S. Open, the PGA Championship, and the Masters in Augusta, Georgia.
Now, the difference between these four Masters, and I talked to my pro out at the club at Greenbrier, and he said almost all of the guys in the American pros would rather win one major than 5 or 6 of the other tournaments. It means that much to their career.
It's monetarily, it means a lot to them, and then the prestige also means a lot to them.
Is this the only one that Arnold hasn't won?
He has a special exemption to play in the PGA Championship because he hasn't won this. It's the only major that he hasn't won.
Yeah. Well, they'll have all the guys out there like Ray Floyd.
Ray Floyd, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer.
Will Nick Faldo be out?
Nick Faldo will be there. Seve Ballesteros is the only one of the really major names that won't be there, and I think he has a bad back. And
Seve's been hurting for a couple weeks now.
I think it's his back swing instead of his back.
Well, I'd love to have a back swing like that man's back. Anyhow, what is the reason I asked this question about, so you have some idea, what is the total yardage of the 18 holes?
7,148. 7,148 par 72.
Does the length of the course have something to do with the PGA guidelines?
Well, they make the course, they improve the course. The PGA comes in and moves a tee here, moves a tee there. There have been the improvements to the course that Tom Vanderwally and his staff out there, the greens people, have been working on the course for 3 or 4 years, bringing it up to PGA standards.
Now, if you don't know this, 2 of the major designers are Robert Trent Jones and Peter Dye. This is a Robert Trent Jones course, and they tell me that the rough is extremely high.
Well, the rough is so high that you just play the first ball you come to when you're hit one into the rough.
That's what the guys who are playing the course say. It must be very, very tough because they have to hammer their way out. I made some notes here. I talked to my pro out there. I caddied, ladies and gentlemen, paid for my piano lessons from 1923 to 1928. I caddied at Algonquin and Westboro. They're allowed 14 clubs in their bag. I said, what 14 clubs? They said they don't care if it's 13 woods and 1 putter. Just don't have any more than 14 clubs in the bag.
No weed whackers.
No weed whackers. That's right. The ball, the weight. And I said, what about the weight? They said the club can weigh as much or it can be as long or as short as you want. Now, the last time they had a tournament here, Gary Player won in a playoff.
That's right.
Now, you don't know who he had to play off with, do you? By a coincidence?
I can't remember who he had to play.
Does anybody here remember who Gary won the playoff from? And this is 65. Well, I want to thank you for being here because these people are very, very busy. I just heard him announce on KMOX that they are going to be selling memorabilia out on Mason Road at the Hunter Farm, right?
Right. Enter off of Ladue onto in the public parking lot A, and proceed to the north, and you'll see signs leading you to the Jerry Tucker's Pro Shop. Used to be a field, now it's a pro shop.
Incidentally, can you get a ticket to this?
You can get a ticket to it by calling 534-1111. You can get a daily ticket to Monday through Wednesday. The championship play rounds are sold out, but by calling MetroTix at 534-1111, $25 Monday through Wednesday, a daily pass. Daily passes are still available, and that includes your parking.
And these are the practice rounds. Thank you, Brad Parrott, for being down here. Thank you. Well, we've got about 30 seconds. Y'all having a good time? We're going back to the studios, and we'll be back with you in just a few seconds. This is Russ David, and this is the Playhouse Party. We're here at the beautiful Jefferson Arms, and we'll be with you now for the next 30 minutes. This place is the ballroom of the Jefferson Arms. I know when Brad Parrott says, where will I find this place? I said, it's the corner of 12th and Locust. Now, he's not a native of St. Louis, but I worked in this room many, many times. I worked here for the Veiled Prophet. I worked here for Brown Shoe Company. I worked here for Anheuser-Busch. I remember all the big parties that Gussie had up in the Gold Room. Well, the Jefferson Arms still has grace and style, and it's not a hotel anymore. It's a residential facility for senior people. But how many of you folks who are here today live here? Okay. I was talking to the management of the Jefferson. I said, why don't you let me invite some of the fans I have in the audience to think about living here? I know it sounds crazy, but it isn't. Because if you lived here, it would make it easy for you to come down and see my show. Right? You just get out of bed and come on down. Well, anyhow, we've got a special offer. And talk to Mickey, and here's what it is. They call the Russ David Special. They said they're going to allow all the new tenants 2 months free rent on an 18-month lease. The apartment includes heating and air conditioning, and so you'll have no housing expenses for 2 months. Now, you say that you've got a lease on your present apartment. You can talk to Mickey Cudahy, the manager here. As a matter of fact, I'm being attacked by a lady here, and she's probably learning to be a pickpocket. You're doing a good job, Dot.
Didn't notice a thing, did you?
No.
I'm looking for that card.
And anyhow, call her at 436-4600, that's Mickey Cudahy, and ask her about the Russ David Special. Not only would you have 2 months free rent by living here, but you can save even more. The rentals here are probably less than you're paying right now wherever you're staying. And the Jefferson Arms will try to help you with your moving expenses also. Now, I might have gone on too long, but call Mickey, 436-4600. She'll tell you better than I. You'll be foolish not to look into the Jefferson Arms. When I came in here, I went in to buy a package of gums. Mine's trying to stop smoking. And a lot of people were coming here to buy bread, and they were buying soda and whatever. They have a lovely store right here on the corner of Locust. And the folks who live here, I would imagine, if you've got apartments up here, you go down there, if you're short something, bread or whatever. And you've got your own beauty parlor, right? You got a donut shop. I noticed you got pool. Huh? Oh, you got a new velvet freeze? I guess you're serving non-fattening... Okay, the number, call here for reservations, 436-4600. Okay, and how about a nice hand now for Dottye? Now, I told you we'd be doing one of George M. Cohen's songs, and we're going to do, I love this song. I love the lyrics. It's called Mary. I'll dedicate all of these songs to Joel Gray, who was just 60 years old. And he's out the Muni this week, and they say he's just wonderful. Okay, Daddy.
For it was Mary, Mary, plain as any name can be.
Come on.
But with propriety, society will say Marie. But it was Mary, Mary, long before the fashions came. And there is something there that sounds so square. It's a grand old name.
Dottye, give my regards.
Give my regards to Broadway.
Everybody.
Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. A whisper of how I'm yearning to mingle with the old-time throng. Give my regards to old Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long.
Grand old flag.
You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Hey, beats true for the red, white, and blue. And there's never a boast or brag,
Big finish.
but should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, Yankee Doodle do or die. A real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. She's my Yankee Doodle sweetheart, I'm her Yankee Doodle guy. Yankee Doodle run to town, riding on his pony. I am a Yankee Doodle guy. I am a Yankee Doodle boy. Artie, is Artie still here? Artie, come here, Artie. Play I Got Rhythm, Artie. He does it, but he does it. Okay, Dottye, would you introduce our proud mama? Well, you didn't take any chances this time, did you?
Oh, listen, I got her right here. This is Mary Clauson, and she has 15 children. 9 boys and 6 girls, and she's a very proud mama, Russell. You want to come on over here and talk to her?
No, I'll tell you what, Dottye, I'm going to let you interview this lady.
Oh, are you?
I just think it'd be perfect, you know.
Okay,
After all,
sure.
You're a mama, so you talk to another mama.
Yeah.
And that's a big mama.
Who, me or? Are you speaking of my size, Russell?
No, I'm not.
Thank you. Okay, Mary
right.
Clauson. It's a delight to have you here. Now, you have 9 boys and 6 girls. How many grandchildren?
22.
22 grandchildren. Any great-grandchildren?
Yes, I have 2
2 great-grandchildren. What are they, boy, girl?
girls,
2 girls. What are their names?
Lacey and Courtney.
Lacey and Courtney. I noticed that you're over there with our proud, not our proud, this is our proud mama. This is our grand lady. You're there with the grand lady. And the 2 of you decided you would come down here together and just capture this audience, which is what you did, isn't it?
I don't know.
Incidentally, Dottye, how did they arrange that?
Well, I think you're good. Are you good friends with the proud?
I didn't know her until today.
You what?
I
Hey, she didn't know
until
her.
today.
Oh, it just sort of happened. Do you have friends in common, maybe?
She's a friend of my sister.
Aha, there you go, Russell.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
that's the connection.
Okay.
Okay. And how long have you lived here in St. Louis? Are you a native?
Oh, no, about 30 years.
Where are you from originally?
Montgomery City, Missouri.
Montgomery City. How far away is that? Oh my goodness, you got some here from Montgomery. Yeah, good. And when did you come to St. Louis? About 30 years ago, did you say?
Yes.
And how about your husband? Is he still here with you?
Oh, yes.
He
Mhm.
is.
Oh, yes.
You mean a lady who's 93 still has her husband
No,
living?
no, this is not the 93-year-old lady. This is our proud mama, Russell.
Well,
And
the same thing goes.
I'm not going to ask her age. I won't ask you your age if you don't ask me
Same
mine.
thing goes.
But your husband, is he here in this building with
Oh,
you?
no, no.
What does he do during the day while you're out cavorting with the girls?
He gardens.
Ah, does he grow mostly flowers, or does he
does
fill your
both.
table?
Oh, no, garden vegetables and flowers.
Yeah, this is about the time of tomatoes, isn't it?
Yes.
My favorite thing. I have to get to know your husband.
How many folks here love tomatoes? Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Dottie's, when are you going out to Eckerd's to get the peaches?
I'm going tomorrow. I love their peaches. Incidentally, it's a very short season. And do you then, if your husband does all of these vegetables and things, do you can them, or what do you do with them?
No, I make jellies, and I've been making a lot of cobblers.
That sounds pretty good too.
Uh-huh.
Well, we are just delighted to have you here, and with all of your lovely children, and are some of your daughters over there
My
today?
daughter's with me
What's her
today.
name?
Mary.
Mary. We just sang a song for Mary. How do you like that, Mary? Okay. Do you remember all the names of your children?
Of course.
Would you like to give them?
Okay, there's Charles, Fred, John, Mary, James, Cecilia, Thomas, David, Richard, Teresa, Stephen, Maggie, Andrew, Michelle, and Anita.
Wow. I won't ask you your grandchildren. That would be really taking advantage. But we do have this lovely, lovely corsage for you, and we're delighted that you could come and be with us today. And you come back soon, will you? Okay, thank you, darling.
Here's our special guest now, Denny Scherrer. How about a nice hand for Denny? Okay. Are you gonna stay back there, Denny, and play? That's fine. We're gonna do. I think we're gonna do Robert E. Lee, aren't we? Let's start with that, Denny.
Sammy on a moonlit night, you can find them all while they are playing. Them Bengals are syncopated. What's that they're saying? What's that they're saying? While they are playing, well, my heart is a swaying. It's the good ship of Robert E. Lee coming to carry the cotton away. Now, do ya hear them shuffling along? Now see them shuffling along. And take your best gown and your real pal. Go down on the levee, I said on the levee, and join that shovel and crawl. And see that music and song is simply great. Mate, waiting on the levee, waiting for the Robert E. Lee. your real pal. Go down on the levee, I said to the levee, and join that shovel and draw. And see that music and song is simply great, mate. Waiting on the levee, waiting for the Robert E. Lee.
You know something, Denny? I think they like you. You know, Denny, the last time he was here, he sang a song about why don't you misbehave?
Let's misbehave.
Let's misbehave.
Yes.
It was a real cute song. So I said, you got any song about, that vintage? And he said, you know a song called I Love My Baby Loves Me? I haven't played that since I worked at Westlake Park. And you know how long that is. Golly, when you think about all the places I've worked, for instance, what is this song? China Boy. Right. What's this one? Limehouse Blues. What about this one? Jada, jada, jing, jing, jing. Jada, 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 jing, jing. I loved her in the summer and I loved her in the fall. I loved her best of all place in the back hall. Yeah, jada, 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 jing, jing, jing. I mean, jada, jada, jing, jing, jing. This song he's going to do is called I Love My Baby. So vamp into it, babe.
Well, I love my baby loves me. Don't know nobody as happy as we. She's only 20, I'm 21. We never worry, we're just having fun. Sometimes we quarrel and maybe we fight, but then we make up the following night. When we're together, we're great company. I love my baby loves me. My baby loves me. We're hotsy-totsy, why shouldn't we be? She gives me kisses, each one is a smack, but you should hear them when I give them back. She bought a cookbook, she's learning to bake. I like her coffee, it keeps us awake. We wash the dishes from 7 till 3. I love my baby loves me. I love my baby loves me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
When I hear you do songs like that, it brings back a flood of memories. For instance, this one. Remember this one? I ain't got nobody, and nobody cares for me. That's why I'm sad and lonely. That's why I'm sad and low. I want somebody come and take a chance with me. I sing sweet love songs. I sing sweet love songs all of the time. Won't some sweet baby come and be my mama mine? 'Cause I ain't got nobody and nobody else. Put it in G. Start on D7. Way down yonder in New Orleans, in the land of the beautiful queens, there's a Garden of Eden. Well, you know what I mean. Creole babies with flashing eyes softly whisper with tender sigh and stop. Oh, won't you give your lady fair a little smile? Stop. You know you're bound to linger there a little while. This is heaven right here on earth, in the land of the queens, way down yonder in New Orleans. That's it. I remember when I played on packet boats going to New Orleans, and I heard that song down there waiting, and then I saw all those beautiful queens they were talking about, and I was in high school, a senior, and I want to tell you something. I saw things that I couldn't tell my people about, my folks about. That's the first time I ever, you know, that was called the Paris of the United States. And I went to a show with my other musicians who were older than I, and I saw some nude shows. It was terrible. Just awful. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Let's do, what key do you do 5'2" in?
Whatever key you like.
Well, as long as you're going to be nasty about it. What key do you want to do? C?
That's fine. Well, 5'2", eyes are blue. Oh, what those pipe feet can do. Has anybody seen my gal? Well, turn up nose, turn down hose, flapper, yes, so one of those. Has anybody seen my gal? Now, if you run into 5'2", all covered with fur, diamond ring and all those things, bet your life it isn't her. Could she love? Could she boo? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my gal? Has anybody seen my girl?
What's the most unusual song you sing? I know from just watching you work, I know you do a lot of strange things.
Well, gee, thank you, Russ.
That was said as a compliment.
I know.
Yeah.
The most unusual song.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like that club you checked out in New Orleans. I don't think I can tell you about it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you what. If you would sing a song like, do you do any of Frankie and Johnny?
Yeah. Would you like to do Frankie and Johnny?
Yeah, we would like to end this program in the next 20 minutes, but do a couple verses of Frankie. Or you know, another one. I went down to St. James Infirmary. Let's do that one. C, D minor. D minor.
Well, I went down to the St. James Infirmary to see my baby there. Well, she was stretched out on a long white table, so cold, so cold, so fair.
Oh, she was bad.
I went up to see that doctor. She's very low, he said. I went back to see my baby. Great God, she was laying there dead.
Let her go.
Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, now she's gonna search this whole wide world over, but she'll never find another man sweeter.
What about the horses on the cortege? What the horses, 40 horses or something?
Now when I die, please bury me in my high-top Stetson hat.
That's it.
And put a gold piece on my watch chain, so they know I died standing pat. And get 6 gamblers to carry my coffin, get 6 chorus girls to sing my song, and put that jazz band on the tailgate to raise some hell as we go along. I went down now to St. James Infirmary to see my baby there. Well, she was stretched out on a long white table, so cold, so cold, so fair.
Okay, Dottye. Dottie's got the contestants here now. Come on, ladies. This is going to be
for our song contest. We have Rosalie Hill. Would you like to sit right there, Rosalie? And we also have Joetta Royce. Okay? Nice hand for these ladies.
These songs are all about flowers. All about flowers, okay?
Just you have to know the names of the flowers. Just a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. If you
Pencils.
Here, Dottye.
You can tell I haven't done this.
Here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, here are the songs. Just put down the name of the flower that's in here. Okay, that's the first flower. The second flower is... It's time for Dottie's dance. This is a flower. You know, I'm not sure that this is a flower, but we'll try it anyhow. That's close. The last one here, this is a tough one. Here are the flowers. Roses of Picardy. Tiptoe through the tulips. Daisy, daisy. The last one was 4-leaf clover. Oh, and this is kind of a sneaky one. This is called Lily Marlene for Lily. Okay? How did they do, honey?
We have a tie, Russ.
Tie.
Both ladies won. They got it. 4 out of 5 is not
Now,
bad,
don't forget,
ladies.
we'll be back here on August the 20th. Call Mickey Cudahy or the girls at 436-4600. Did you all have a good time? Come back and see us.
Don't need